Tua, what was it like when you were on the sidelines and watching Fitz do his thing with the Fitz magic and rally the team from behind for that victory?
Well, it's always good to win. It always feels good to win, first off. I know outsiders are probably going to say, well, it wasn't you in there that brought the win.
What'd you do when you ran in the tunnel? Just what was your reaction to his message?
The tunnel thing was weird because this is the first time in my 16-year career I've had to go to the bathroom so bad that I had to go during the game. And so I ran in there to take a pee, and then I came back out. And when I came back out, Flo said, hey, get ready, you're going in.
Well, we did that against Kansas City. Honestly, we scored with 1:15 left, and Mahomes went down and beat us. And we felt the play was to eliminate all the clock and all the timeouts and put them back with their back against the wall with 19 seconds left. I don't regret it. I didn't want Fitzpatrick to have the ball. He was doing a good job in the second half. I didn't want him to be in a 4-down situation.
Losing your job to your understudy is not an easy pill to swallow. However, NFL journeyman Ryan Fitzpatrick, after being told his understudy would take over the quarterback duties for the Miami Dolphins, could not have handled it more professionally. But after Tua Tagovailoa's string of 8 starts, Fitzpatrick would get an opportunity to showcase his magic once again against the Las Vegas Raiders. This was a game that had huge playoff implications, as both teams prior to the start kind of had a foot in the playoff door. Heading into this matchup, the 9-5 Dolphins were sitting in the last playoff spot in the AFC, with both the 7-7 Raiders and the 9-5 Ravens lurking right behind. The first 3 quarters of this game was nip and tuck, as both starting quarterbacks couldn't get much rolling on the offensive side of the football. However, that would all change in the fourth quarter when all hell broke loose. What's up, guys? It's your boy Clasher here, bringing you more NFL content. So if you're feeling the videos, be sure to throw a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button with all notifications turned on. It doesn't cost you anything, and you could always unsub or turn off notifications at any point in time. So heading into the third quarter, the Raiders were up 16-13 and keeping their playoff hopes alive. A win would certainly propel the Raiders a shot at making the playoffs for the first time in 4 seasons, but a loss would mathematically erase all hope for the franchise. On top of that, this would be Gruden's 3rd straight season missing the playoffs since taking over the helm in his 2nd stint with the franchise. So anyways, midway in the fourth quarter, Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, after seeing Tua struggling on connecting down the field, decided for the 2nd time this season to throw the experienced veteran QB under center. And boy, was that the right call. Fitzpatrick immediately got the offense rolling and began starting to drive the ball to the opponent's side of the field when he connected with tight end Mike Gesicki over the middle for a 17-yard catch and run. The next play, Ryan again connected with his tight end on a 31-yard pass that beautifully caught the Raiders defense flat-footed and had the Dolphins set up at 1st and goal. Unfortunately, after a drop pass that possibly could have been a TD and an early overthrown dart to Gesicki in the end zone, the offense had to settle for a field goal to tie the game. And with just 4 minutes left and Carr facing 1st and 10 in his own 15, the quarterback, under good pass protection from the offensive line, scrambled to the right, extending the play, and threw a pass to former Eagles receiver Nelson Agholor, who adjusted to make the jump ball catch. The receiver caught the pass and outmaneuvered Dolphin safety Bobby McCain to score the go-ahead touchdown. Now, what really needs to be discussed in this play is how Derek Carr completely had faith in his receiver to make the grab after he was forced out of the pocket. Honestly, Carr this season has been nothing short of spectacular, consistently making clutch throws and really leading this offense. But unfortunately for Raider Nation, the ever so reliable Daniel Carlson would go on to miss the extra point kick, thus leaving the Raiders with a 6-point lead with a little over 3 minutes left in the game. And in came Fitzpatrick again, who would throw up some more magic against the Raiders defense that was having trouble in the fourth quarter containing this new offense led by the journeyman. From his own 41, Ryan threw a short pass to running back Myles Gaskin, who faked inside and found an opening on the right sideline. And with a good block from Gesicki, Gaskin was able to get by 4 Raiders and make his way to the end zone, tying up the game at 22 apiece. And with the extra point kick, the Dolphins took the lead for the first time in the game. Now, with the Raiders in possession of the football, this gave them 2.5 minutes with 3 timeouts to try and take the lead back. And the craziness in this game would continue to ensue, with Carr from his own 29-yard line on 2nd down threw a deep pass to Agholor, who drew a pass interference call. Corner Byron Jones was flagged for somewhat of a dubious call, Yes, he did put a hand on the receiver's shoulder, but in no way did he impede Aguilar in making the catch. Honestly, I think it was a pretty soft call, but with that being said, this gave the Raiders offense the ball in the red zone with $1:55 remaining in the game and with the Dolphins only holding one timeout. Now, this is where one of the turning points of the game occurred when head coach Jon Gruden elected to run down the clock for a go-ahead field goal instead of trying for a touchdown with Josh Jacobs clearly given a free path to the end zone. Jacobs purposely stopped himself short of the goal line to kill the clock and go for the 3 points while giving the Dolphins just 19 seconds with the ball. Carlson made the 22-yard field goal and gave the Raiders a 25-23 lead. So with less than 20 seconds left, this game was pretty much in the bag. However, when you've got Ryan Fitzpatrick under center, you can always expect some sort of magic. And lo and behold, Fitzmagic from his own 25-yard line made one of the craziest and probably one of the most mathematically improbable throws you'll ever see. Stepping forward into the pocket, the quarterback found Matt Collins on the sideline for a 34-yard pass, but what made this play so crazy was the level of difficulty getting the ball out of his hands as he was being pulled down with a face mask grab from defensive end Arden Key. This penalty moved the ball all the way to the Raiders' 27-yard line, and Dolphins kicker Jason Sanders kicked a knuckler that traveled left to right and back inside left for the 3 points, giving the Dolphins the much-needed win and putting themselves in a better position to make the playoffs. Miami now only needs to win the next game in a divisional matchup against the Bills in Buffalo. With that being said, some of the talking points tomorrow on sports media shows is obviously going to surround Gruden's decision to kill the clock and go for the field goal instead of taking the touchdown. And while hindsight is 20/20, I'm pretty sure everyone on the panel tomorrow is going to look like a genius after questioning Gruden's play call on this particular play. Taking the 3 points, you're giving the other team less than 20 seconds with one timeout to make a field goal. Alternatively, taking the touchdown, you give the Dolphins the ball back with about a minute left, and seeing how the Raiders defense had trouble all night against Fitzpatrick, you can kind of understand what was going inside Gruden's head. We saw a similar play earlier this year when Todd Gurley accidentally scored the touchdown, which inadvertently cost the Falcons the game. Anyways guys, let me know what you think would have been the right move in this spot, taking everything into consideration, how the game was being played in the fourth quarter, your defensive struggles, and ultimately, the chances of the Dolphins actually pulling this off was probably less than a few percent if I had to guess. However, when we look at Gruden's next major decision in the game, when he decided to go with cover 2 with a press corner on the last throw, that one he may actually have to own up to. Honestly, this coverage was probably something that won't sit too well with Raider Nation. Although football games are not decided by one play, one mistake, or one person, but when multiple plays and mistakes come from one person throughout the course of the season in the most crucial of circumstances, that's when it might be easier to assign blame. Also, it's further going to be highlighted when you're a coach who's making $100 million. Lastly, one thing I want to discuss is Tua Tagovailoa's maturity on the field. Yeah, it doesn't look good getting benched for the second time in 2 months, but the way he handled and cheered on Fitzpatrick and his team will truly go a long way in my opinion. You gotta understand, he's still very young, inexperienced, and like it or not, this is part of the grooming process. While no coach wants to break the confidence of a young quarterback, watching Tua's body language and mannerisms on the sidelines, I really don't think this will affect him moving forward. And whether or not the coaching staff decides to make another starting quarterback change, the way both Ryan and Tua have cheered on each other's success on the field is really pleasing to watch. Heck, it's much better than seeing a QB sulking on the bench. And one last interesting piece of info regarding Ryan, in his 16 years in the NFL, he has never once made the playoffs. So either way, whichever QB is under center, it's going to be a very good story in the end.